A lot of fun.
Yeah, the event decks are actually pre-made for Friday Night Magic.
Yes.
They're tournament-ready decks. And yeah, you can order those. I believe there are 2 in the set, but I've been told 1 has a Flag Tusk in it.
And that is not exactly the worst card to have in the world this weekend. I think, I don't know. We won't see that card again tonight. We have
a match. We have Bernie Wen on the left, my good friend, due to his excellent basketball skills. We refer to him as Wensanity.
Oh.
So, and if you know Bernie, you know what he's playing even without the little tagline to say he's playing Esper Control. He plays Esper Control in every format whenever he can. He is playing Esper Stoneblade tomorrow. He played Solar Flare last season. So he's never seen a tiger stomping ground in his life.
So in his case, we will be getting a preview of his deck for tomorrow by you telling us that now.
Yeah. On the right we have Carlos Torres. Shocking, another Jund deck.
But he has Vampire Nighthawks in the main.
That's true.
Which I don't mind that so much.
Yep, and everything else is cards we've seen before.
Yes. Evolving Wilds from Bernie, passes the turn. Probably cracked that at the back end here of his turn. Okay, Farseek, Carlos ramping, trying to get to as quickly as many lands as he can get out there on the board to be able to, his Hunt Masters and Olivia's, and hey, 4 Thragtusk.
Shocking.
Yeah, I know. But he's got 3 Thundermoths, so, 7 5-drops, that's not necessarily the worst thing.
That's a lot.
Okay. So we have Fetch Land. Bernie will be seeking out. Let's see if he gets here.
Another feature, if you want to call it, of Bernie's decks is that they feature lots of singletons, and not cards you would necessarily expect to see as a singleton. There's one Terminus a deck. He just he has some Supreme Verdicts. He doesn't like having all of the same card. He's definitely contributed to the philosophy of if you have 4 of a card, 4 Supreme Verdicts your opponents can play around. Sometimes you need a Terminus when you draw Supreme Verdict. Why not split it 3 and 1? Even if one card's a little better on average, drawing 1 of each is generally better than drawing 2 of the same.
Okay, looks like Carlos has 3 more lands in his hand and a Thragtusk, and he will pass the turn and a Rakdos Return. Not another good card against Bernie. This could be very rough if he gets that Rakdos Return for anything significant.
Yeah, Bernie does not have counter spells in his deck.
Okay.
At least main deck.
That's 5. Here comes Thragtusk.
So he's gonna have to put up with this Thragtusk, and plenty of nice cards to do it. He has 4 Lingering Souls, 4 Azorius Charm. He's got 7 Planeswalkers, 3 Forbidden Alchemy, 2 Detention Sphere. He's got a couple Augur Bolus and a Snapcaster Mage, and he's got Jace. So not the best draw in the world for Bernie. In fact, I would have actually liked to see him try and get, if his hand is not great, I'd like to see him trying to get some additional cards because
Forbidden Alchemy.
Yeah, he is likely going to lose his Jace to a Rakdos Return, and likely his hand. So
Carlos seems land flooded here. He's got 2 more. He's got a Dreadbore in his hand, 2 land in the forest, a Dreadbore, and a Rakdos Return, I believe. And I believe it's a Thundermaw Hellkite.
Looks like it.
Which either way now.
So his hand is actually very, very good.
So Thundermaw.
This Jace is definitely dying. Just a matter of how. Not sure that's the way I would go about killing it.
I would have held that, swung with the Thragtusk, killed the Jace that way, and maybe played Thundermaw out there to swing for another 5 to get him down to 15.
I mean, +1 Jace, so that would not have worked.
He was at 5.
Yeah, Thragtusk attacks for 4.
Oh, 4. Okay.
So Tamio taps the Thragtusk down.
Yeah.
And Carlos is going to punish this with either a Rakdos Return or a Thundermaw Hellkite.
Okay, he is holding it like he has a miracle.
Yeah, what? Not sure what's going on here. Okay, looks like we can continue.
All right, there's another land.
And, like, there we go. There's a Rakdos return for 5. And so Bruni's going to lose his hand. Another Jace, a Thought Scour, another land.
And a charm they threw in there also.
So Bruni's in quite a bit of trouble. Now that he's gotten, mind twisted and his Planeswalker killed in the same card.
Okay.
Looks like, no reason for Carlos to just run in Thunder Mohawk right here.
Swing for 10, put him down to 6. Snapcaster? Charm.
Zoya's Charm will draw a card. I actually like Bernie drawing a card there. Putting the Thunder Mohawk card on top won't actually get him closer to anywhere he's going. And if Bernie peels a Miracle by chance, either off the card, so Augur Bolus will try and find a Supreme Verdict. It looks like it hit. And a land allows that to Bernie to cast it, so Carlos makes a Beast.
That will still put him in range.
In 3.
He does have a Kiss of Wolfrun, so if he pulls that, that will effectively be game there, because he can pump it to lethal.
Alright. I mean, if Bernie can find a card with this his one draw step, he might be in reasonable shape. But other than that, yeah, this game is over. Rakdos returned a huge card, and it doesn't look like Bernie really has any way to counteract that. He has 2 copies of Negate, but they're not great against anything else.
Okay.
Sundering Growth. Bernie has some nice tech for the very slow mirror.
Yes.
He has 3 copies of Nephalia Drown Yard in his deck, so that can be quite potent. But this is not the matchup where he wants the extra lands or the extra. I guess you could say they're win conditions. He does have a Terminus and a Sever the Bloodline, but Sever the Bloodline will definitely come in.
Yeah, Terminus.
But Terminus not the greatest card.
No. Carlos.
Carlos has 2 Underworld connections, 2 Liliana the Veil, and if he so desires, 2 Appetite for Brains, 2 Deathrite Shamans, and 2 Golgari Charms, primarily to regenerate his creatures.
Yeah, the Deathrite Shaman may come in. He saw Bernie drop an Evolving Wilds turn 1. Maybe to help speed up his mana. It's a possibility there. Appetite for Brains, like you said, it could be a possibility. But we'll see.
I actually like, this might be a game 3 adjustment for Carlos because he hasn't seen Lingering Souls. But Golgari Charm is the nice split card. You can kill Detention Sphere, kill Lingering Souls tokens, and counter Supreme Verdict. So it's a very versatile card for Carlos. If he decides that Bernie has, he saw Supreme Verdict and not see the other 2. He has to decide that Bernie has the cards for it. So that being said, he's going to have to bring in something. He looks pretty stacked for a control mirror. I definitely see Liliana and Underworld connections both coming in. And Mizzium Mortars, Pillar Flame are the bad cards. Vampire Nighthawk's not great. But other than that, most of Carlos's cards are pretty good.
Yeah, but I don't know if he wants to give up threats. At least the Vampire Nighthawk can provide a threat.
As a 3-mana, 2-power creature, it's not much of a threat. It's more of a life. Yeah, but the lifelink's not really what you want here. Like,
No.
Vampire Nighthawk's much better against like a zombie deck or a mono red deck or any deck with like small creatures or where your life total is relevant.
Yeah.
Not what you want in a control style battle. Like, it's keywords. Flying sometimes not often relevant. Death Touch almost never relevant. Bernie doesn't have blockers, and then lifelink you don't really gain much.
It's really weird because Carlos really didn't get to see a whole lot of Bernie's hand.
It's so some. You got a general idea. You didn't get to see like all the spice that Bernie brings.
Yeah, because he's got a lot of, like you said, onesie twosies cards in there that he didn't get to see at all, and it really could be an issue for him coming into this game. But we'll see. He did get to see the Supreme Verdict, which did do its job at the moment. But all right, the one thing I've noticed here, and in between our little break here for our last round, talked to Colleen Anderson, who's running the event this weekend, and she said, and I've noticed because we're in the same room where all the drafting is being taking place. Indianapolis, known for drafting, lots and lots and lots of drafting here this weekend.
Yeah, I had quite a few friends that came up primarily, like they didn't want to play in the main event, but they know there'd be lots of things to do on the course of the weekend. Get to hang out in downtown Indy, plenty of side events, including drafts. Legacy Challenge just started as this round is starting. So,
yeah, I believe you talked to a friend of yours about what he should play. Okay, Bernie, land, go. Blood Crypt.
Lands for both players.
Blood Crypt from Carlos Torres, and he passes turn. So now he's got all the colors available that he needs for Bernie to play his cards. Okay,
Alright.
Farseek. That is becoming, or if that has already been. I mean, that is thanks to the new lands, the shock lands. I mean, Farseek's value just skyrockets as a card.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, passes the turn. Back to Bernie. Okay, Drowned Catacombs. And
Dice of St. Trap.
he brought those off the sideboard. He has 3 of those available to him on the sideboard.
Just an excellent threat against a lot of Carlos's deck. There are definitely certain cards that it's not very good against. It's not good against Huntmaster of the Fells. It's not good if Carlos kept in his Nighthawks. And it's not good against sideboarded Liliana of the Veils for Carlos, potentially.
There's a...
It's not great against Keyroom, but it's going to get in at least one attack. And I believe Bernie also has a Detention Sphere. Maybe it's an Azorius Charm. Either card would allow the Geist to attack through a second time.
Okay, it looks like he does have a Thorac Tusk in his hand. He will swing, hit for 6, taking Carlos down to 14 life. Out goes the Angel.
It's like Bernie has a Forbidden Alchemy in his hand. But he's going to play a Sorin Lord of Innistrad instead.
Okay, he's waiting for his token.
This one's it. And passes back to Carlos.
Yeah, the -2 here actually works with the Angel nicely.
That it does.
Makes it a 5/4.
Yeah, would have made the attack for 8. That being said, Bernie doesn't have a ton of creatures to take advantage of the emblem. I would pretty much rely on replay. So Mizium Mortars clears the board.
Again, overload. Wipes the board clean. But, you know, at least this way, worst comes to worst, Bernie has another way to bring out a token. He looks like he has a Detention Spear. I believe we saw the Thorac Tusk earlier. He has the Charm. There it is, for you that don't know. Mizium Mortars, 1 in a red. Does 4 damage to target creature you don't control. Overload 3 and 3 red. Traces target for each, and that's what he used against Bernie to wipe the board clean.
So Bernie just going to sit back. I believe he's sitting on 2 Forbidden Alchemies.
Well, that will help him be able to get through his hand quicker to be able to get the stuff he's looking for. Believe that was a card that Sam Black played very heavily. Forbidden Alchemy.
Oh, looks like a Dreadbore coming out for Carlos.
That's a good way to deal with Soren.
That it is. Bernie's gonna try his hand at a Forbidden Alchemy. Maybe you can find a counter spell. Looks like we have a Sever, a Supreme Verdict, a Glacial Fortress, and a card I was not able to pick up.
Looks like a charm. I don't know. Oh, that...
Charm or Detention Sphere.
Okay, Detention Sphere, yeah.
Looks like he'll discard the Sphere. Looks like he took the Glacial Fortress.
Okay, yeah. You got to see his graveyard right there.
So, Carlos over here pretty much has a free reign. Depends on what he wants to do with it. Looks like a lily out of the mail.
Now, he's got a Detention Sphere for it. Next turn. So he will...
Thinking about actually plussing it? Yeah.
Okay. Liliana Vale, 1 and 2 black. +1, each player discard a card. -2, target player sacrifices a creature, and for some reason, if it manages to get to 6, which it will not, separate all permanents target player controls into 2 piles, then that player sacrifices permanents into the pile of his... the rest of the permanents into the pile of his or her choice.
Bernie discards a Forbidden Alchemy, Carlos discards a Farseek.
And that will be met with a Detention Sphere.
Ooh, Bernie has a Sphinx's Revelation now. That's a very, very powerful card. Definitely makes sense why Bernie would want a land. He may actually let Liliana tick up even to 5. Just so he can cast the Sphinx's Revelation. We'll see. It's a risky play to not cast the Sphinx's Revelation when you have the opportunity. But looks like Bernie's going to get the Liliana out. Get in a free attack with the Vampire.
Okay, and he will...
Oh, this falls to 13. Bernie is propped up to 21.
Drawing. Thundermaw, I believe, is in his hand.
Reasonable draw, too.
Practice Road. Alright, maybe it wasn't Thundermaw. Alright, swings for 3. Takes Bernie down to 18.
Second key rune. Carlos.
Okay. That's a Snapcaster Mage in Bernie's hand along with...
Sphinx's Revelation.
Yes.
Might be a Pot Scour in Bernie's hand, but I definitely think this is where Bernie wants to be in terms of the board state. Even though he has like these unresolved Rakdos key runes, that's really all Carlos has to speak for him. And Bernie's going to gain quite a bit of life and draw quite a few cards. It'll be a Revelation for 3. And then he also has 2 Forbidden Alchemies in his graveyard. So between all of that card drawing, he should be able to both deal with the key runes and the other threats that Carlos has to play.
Well, it'll negate his attack with the key runes. I mean, if he chooses to attack with both of them, it negates one of them right away. And
yeah.
I don't know what he's trying
to do. And Bernie has
to
plenty of life to deal with. Okay. So he's going to attack with 1 key rune.
Okay, so that'll take Bernie temporarily down to 16.
That is one of the cards that could definitely bring Carlos back in this game. If Bernie doesn't, I think Bernie's out of detention spheres. He is. He only has 2, and one's in his graveyard. So definitely Planeswalker is one of Carlos's better draws.
He does have.
Given that it's he's drawn 2 of his 3 Planeswalkers in his 75. There's Snapcaster Mage, but that's probably going to take care of the Beast tokens from Garrick.
Yeah.
And not much else.
Okay, now.
So steady stream of Beasts seem to be incoming for Carlos. Jace for Bernie. Looks like we'll get Azorius Charm, Negate, and Isolated Chapel. Looks like Bernie may or may not have seen the top. Looks like he was shuffling, maybe just readjusting it.
Might be been brought up by the judge.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who makes a quick call to have him reshuffle his deck. Carlos has an interesting decision here. Negate or the Charm? How does he set this up 2-1 based on what?
The land's also fairly important as well. I know that Bernie will just take whichever 2-card pile he is given.
Okay.
I probably lean with the Charm
So
if I'm Bernie, but it's really gotta depend on what Bernie's plan for dealing with Garrick is. So Bernie's definitely good. I can't imagine Bernie not taking the 2-card pile. Just knowing Bernie's tendency as a player, yeah. Like myself, Bernie is one to highly value his mana development. So,
All right.
both of us are happiest when we can play lands every turn.
There's nothing wrong with that. More lands allow you more opportunities to play more cards.
Exactly.
And you can't survive without it. Okay, he passes turn back. Carlos draws his card. He still has that Thundermaw in hand.
Looks like an appetite for brains.
And that will hit. All right, I think he's going to.
Might negate it, because that's the card he was given.
Okay. And now he will cast the Thundermaw. That seems to be, there we go.
Yeah, I think this game's going to be close to over. Carlos is going to draw 5 with his Garrick as well.
So he will swing in. Oh, knock out the Jace. Okay, he will draw, like you said, 5 cards.
I would like to draw 5 cards.
I would like to replenish my hand that was empty just a second ago.
Yeah, Bernie's like, I'm really jealous. I had to pay way more mana for way fewer cards.
Yeah, and the Forbidden Alchemy is only get 1, and he pays 7.
Yep. So, yeah.
Another land. It looks like he
good
hit.
sequence of draws for Bernie allowed for Carlos allowed him to really take over. I thought Bernie was advantaging a turn later. Yeah.
I think I saw a Rakdos return out of Carlos's draw. He went through it real quick, I might have saw it. If so, that is going to signal a whole lot of trouble for Bernie. But let's see what he does here to try to get back in the game. All right. Land, 2 lands. I'm pretty sure he has.
Looks like 7 of bloodlines going to. Nope, just kidding.
Well, he has enough. He does have enough mana to cast Snapcaster Mage and Sever the Bloodline.
Or just sever the bloodline.
Or just Sever the Bloodline.
Looks like Jace is going to -2 into value.
The 2 lands together and Sever. I think that's what.
Yep.
Carlos said.
Carlos said, and Bernie's deciding which one he wants. He's decided he wants the sever, and good enough. Sever your Thundermaw Hellkite.
It does leave him 2 Severs in the graveyard right now.
And what's likely to be a dead Jace.
Rakdos Return right here can do. Oh, there's no Thundermaw. And I believe that might have been a Thragtusk in there. But with Bernie having a mitt full of cards and no mana available, isn't this, if he has the Rakdos, isn't this where you cast it?
Yeah, absolutely.
To just dump his hand clean and make sure you have full ability to go here? Okay,
yeah, apparently, Carlos disagrees. He's going to. He might be able to clean out the hand regardless. I believe Carlos also has enough mana to kill the Jace and clean out Bernie's hand. So that's definitely much stronger than this.
Okay, Carlos created a beast token.
6, 7,
8.
Rakdos return for 5.
And there
it's
goes
okay, Bernie. You're still better on the basketball court.
Yep, losing every card in his hand. And now he sits with 1 token.
Alright, so 1 card facing down, net full cards from Carlos, a board full of creatures, and man signets.
Yeah, he's got 2 of them available to
rocks,
him.
if you will.
Yeah, he's got 2 of them available to swing with next turn. Okay, he draws a land, and he will Forbidden Alchemy, Sever the Bloodline.
Probably one of those 2.
Sever the Bloodline on the beast tokens, knocking them out. He still will get hit by potentially 2 key ruins.
Yeah, unfortunate thing for Bernie is that Garrick is still alive, and every turn Garrick lives, it's another 3/3 beast. That's a lot for Bernie to deal with.
Yeah.
Turn after turn is a little much.
Yeah, he can sever one more time. He does have another sever in the graveyard, but you know, creates another token.
Yeah, that doesn't get him anywhere.
No.
Makes a token, tacks it back down to 1.
Let's see this time if he uses both key ruins to swing at him.
Yeah, I think it largely depends on what else Carlos has. Yeah, looks like both of them are getting activated. Thundermaw Hellkite's joining the party.
That'll hit him for 11, taking him down to 1. Even he still has to create the beast token.
Yep. So Bernie at 4 life, facing just as much pressure as he did last turn. And
I don't know. I mean,
I would imagine that we get a concession.
He can sever, but that's still not going to stop the fact that he can only sever one of them. So the beast token, 2 Rakdos ruins out there. I don't think there's much he can do about this.
Yeah.
And he's going to look through that one more time. Maybe there's something in there he missed. And
Make sure there's not a miracle.
okay, looks like he's going to cast the Sever. Okay, that takes care of the Thundermaw.
Alright, so yeah, Bernie's out of cards, and looks like just an attack for Carlos will finish this match.
Yeah, he's got lethal on the board right now between the 2 ruins and the beast token. Even if he chump blocks, he goes up to 5, loses 6. And there's the contest. Oh, and for style points.
Yeah, but he didn't even bother waiting for the dread board. He knew he was beat before.
Yeah. Congratulations to Carlos Torres.
Yeah, he advances to 6-1, I believe.
That